I love that little thing that StreamYard tells me. It says that it's showtime. I think that is so cool. It is showtime. It is Tuesday, May 25th, 2021. If I am in the right realm of the rotation of the Earth and what is it happening? Because I don't know about your weeks, but they are flying by and all that. It's just awesomeness. But man, we are already in June. Can you believe that? I'm going to bring in my good friend and, as always, Scott Vogel. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing really well today, Joey. It's just magic today. Yesterday was one of those. There was definitely not enough time in the waking period to accomplish all of the tasks that needed to be accomplished, and everybody wanting something from
Yeah.
me. Today was just the opposite. It was flowing. I realized that I had to do a marketing coaching training call for my tribe. And I was like, what am I going to do? This, and I just put it together. And we shared a secret of that new piece of the software that I showed you with them. And they were like, same reaction. Oh my God.
Isn't it great?
Anyway, so yeah, it's been an incredible day. Yoga was amazing. Maple lattes today. I only got one. I didn't have time to get the second, so
Nice.
life still was great. Now I get to hang out with my best buddy Joe.
All right. And everybody watching, everybody with us live, let us know you're here in the comments. Say hi. Thank you for being here live. Thank you for being here on the replay, by the way. And thank you for the hearts already. Great to see you, Monica, and everybody else. Let us know you're here. Let us know what's happening in your world. How's it going today? You know, anything you want to share with us. We are here to support you and talk all about marketing, talk all about, talking about marketing and copy and all that kind of stuff, business, and helping you with yours. Sound is bad for Scott. I don't know why. Half muted.
Hey, Joey, there's a pop-up on my screen that says share this video with official Kajabi users group. Should I click that?
No, no. Oh my gosh.
It's telling me to do it, Joey. I'm supposed to do what it tells me by clicking on it.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't do that. I would get kicked out.
It just says share this video.
Well, yeah, it's cool because you can share it, I guess, to other groups when you're in those groups, part of it. But it's anyway. Let's fix your audio. Make sure that you are good. If you could.
My audio is fine, Joey.
Well, on the other side, I don't know if it is. We might have to bring you in on the StreamYard side as well. Can't hear Scott. Yeah, we're gonna have to do that again, buddy. So I'm gonna get you out of this other one. I don't know why it doesn't work, but I'm gonna bring you in on the other side. And let me invite my good friend Scott back in. So there we go. Thanks everybody for putting up with the technical difficulties. I don't know why we get these difficulties with the audio for some reason. It's got to be something on my end, something that I'm doing for sure. And he'll be here in one split second. Scott is barely audible. We will fix that, Monica and Susan. Thank you for being here. Missouri, thank you for being here. Petra, you are awesome. Everybody's awesome. Thank you so much. We are going to be talking about the 4% multiplier today. Thank you for the props on the Atlas, by the way, Susan. You were there. I don't know if you were there for the 4% multiplier. I think you left a little early, right? I don't know if you were there for that, but we're going to talk about that either way, about what this is, the 4% multiplier. And it's one of the things I was just telling everybody, Scott, before you just rejoined us. As you know, I've been doing the Atlas, the new program that I have to help with dream clients, helping, how to bring dream clients into your world and teaching everybody the new marketing methods. And I like to call it the on-demand marketing type of methodology, whatever. And so today was really cool because, like you were just talking about, the responses that you got to your new software and your thing, and it was like awesome. I always ask people, what is it that really was an aha for you? What did you really like about the training? What was there something? And the 4% multiplier today was by far like the number one thing that everybody really loved. So I figured, hey, why not share it with the rest of the world and help them understand what this is? So what I want to do is explain what that is for everybody, and then maybe ask you, because as soon as I explain it, we've never talked about this, have we?
No.
Okay. So you had to leave 15 minutes early. You were there for the 4% multiplier. Good. Okay, cool. So the 4% multiplier, what this is that you're familiar with the 80-20 rule, correct?
Yeah.
And that 80% of what we, your 20% of what we do gives us 80% of the return on whatever that we're doing, right? And then there's that 64-4 rule that we talked about as well, right? Where when you take 80% of the 80 and 20% of the 20, or the math, something like that, you end up with a 64-4 rule, which basically says that 4% of the actions give you 64% of the result. And which means really that 96% of the stuff you're doing is like useless. Like all you have to really do is focus on 4% of it. And once I learned that, it was like, okay, what's the 4% that I have been doing that has moved my business forward? And focus only on that. So I call it the 4% multiplier. And what I do is I combine that with the superpowers that we talk about all the time, right? So there's 4 sections of the superpowers, and I want to share it with everybody here. So if I can get this right. No, that's not the right one. So it's this one here. So if I get the 4% multiplier, let me get you out of there for 1 second, Scott. This one here. This is the 4% multiplier, and then my superpower matrix that I use. And the superpower matrix is a 4-quad thing that is a combination of unique gifts. What are your unique gifts? What's your unique personality? What is your unique experience? And what are your unique processes? Like, what are those? And when you combine those with the 4% multiplier, or the 4% actions that you take every single day, then your business multiplies, because you're only focusing on using your superpowers to do whatever it is that you're doing. Like, in other words, what we're doing right now is part of my 4%. Like every Tuesday, I'm on here with you using my superpowers to amplify the business or to help other people. Does that make sense, Scott?
Yeah, total sense.
So what would you say? So now that you kind of know where this is going, what would you say is your 4% multiplier? Like, what are the things that you do that move your business forward? What are the minimal things that you do every single day consistently that move your business forward?
I would have to say that it is engaging with our team members, our affiliates, our users, and seeing how do I put people together to the mutual benefit of everybody.
Okay.
So whether it's our creative team, our design team, our programmers, and seeing what needs to get done to move everything forward to the next step and the next step and the next step.
Okay, so let's step out of that. That's the delegation of the business behind the scenes. I'm talking about the business outside of that. Where is your prefluent stuff, the things that people see in the business? Where what I'm talking about here, the unique gifts, the passion, like my unique passion and personality, what I talk about, those things. What are those things that you do every day? So this is one of them. Like, you're here every week on Tuesdays, and your superpowers is copywriting and strategies and funnels and looking at the bigger pictures, and those are your superpowers. So you're using those in combination with me, and it's getting out to the world, and somebody looks at you and says, oh wow, he can help me with my funnel, or he can write copy, or he's awesome at video, right? That's what I mean. Is there anything else in your business that you do on a consistent basis? And the minimal, the better, because you want to have your time, right? And this is where on today's call, before we got to the multiplier, one of the biggest questions that come up when I'm teaching marketing or how to get in front of people and all these other things is, well, this is going to take a lot of time. And that's the reason why I created the 4% multiplier, because it's not about that. It's not about being everywhere. I could definitely be on YouTube. I have stuff on YouTube and all that, but it's not a consistency in my business. It's like, okay, well, maybe for a month, I'm in there every single week uploading a video, but then it's like, wow, I'll take off another month, right? So it's not part of my consistency, whereas this is, and being in the group would be another one, right? We're inside the Facebook group weekly. For me, it's every day. And that's another part of my 4% multiplier that helps me get in front of my dream clients and talk to them and just showcase what I can do.
I'm going to go back to what I said, Joey. It's interacting with people on a daily basis, and it's inside of the group, seeing what people are posting, doing. It's talking to creative people every day and see what they're doing. It's talking to new affiliates. It's writing copy. It's meeting with development team to see what's going on. And it's the bigger picture. It's how do I help anybody? If somebody is, hey, I need to talk to you, I get on, I talk to them, I help them figure out what it is. So
they still can't hear you, buddy. I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
Can you change your microphone? Remember you said it was going through your mic, your cam or something last time?
Give me a second here. OBS virtual camera. I don't want my OBS virtual camera. Why won't you give me my other?
Well, now we can hear you, but we can't see you. So while Scott is figuring out the audio on his side there, if anybody let us know, or let me know, or let us both know here what your 4% would be, like, or do you have a question about what I'm talking about, the 4% multiplier? So let me share that with you again on what that is. So this is what 4% multiplier is. It is about using your unique abilities, your unique superpowers to get in front of audiences or talk about stuff in the context of marketing. This is what it's about. It's in the context of marketing. So how do you, and what are the things that you do every week? It could be, every day, but on a consistent basis of how you showcase who you are, demonstrate who you are to your audience. And if you need clarity on that, let us know, or let me know what you think is your 4% multipliers.
Hey, Joey.
Yes, sir.
Is that any better?
I can hear you fine on this side, but it sounds good. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to go back to saying that on a daily basis, I am constantly writing copy, interacting with people, seeing who needs what in order to move them along. I presented yesterday to an association, teaching them how to market their entire organization, their entire conference and convention. I just happened to be teaching them how to do it with video. And I did not talk about my software one time because it was about helping them. At the end of the day, giving them a benefit. So now Monica can hear me. So whatever I did good.
Yeah, your volume's going up and down still. That is the name of my soon-to-be podcast, so I have been building it up with text comments. I don't know who this is.
That is.
If you can do me a favor, wherever you are, you're on Facebook. It looks like, okay. So if you're on the Facebook, there is a link there that you can click to give StreamYard the permission to see your name. So then I can at least give you props, whoever that is.
Let's see. Susan, can you hear me now? Joey, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're really loud now, and you're coming through. But I don't know who that is when you say me, Joey. I don't know who that is. I don't see it. This is what I see on my side. Oh, Collie. If you can click on the thing, the link, Collie, in the post, it should give permission for StreamYard to see your name. And then I can at least give you props, or else I'm going to be guessing through who that is. Now they can hear you, Scott, so that's awesome.
Okay, I just switched microphones.
Yeah, you're loud now, so that's good. Great. The moment you turn sideways, volumes goes down. They're saying so. Okay, they can hear you now. So that's awesome.
Okay, good. So how about I repeat for the third time what I already said is, for me, Joey, it's on a regular basis, it's looking at who needs help to move their business, product, service along, whether they're one of our developers, one of our creators, one of our members, on how do I help them and how do I deliver on what we've promised to continue to move the company along. I mentioned yesterday, Monday, I delivered a training to a whole bunch of people for an association that's going virtual for the first time in 30 years. And their people need to understand what is the best way to present a promotional video. And I spent 45 minutes with this group of people. And I was basically saying, you belong to an incredible association that is doing this for you. Because basically they've hired us to help them put it all together and then teach them how to do it. And I could have easily, the membership's 10,000 people.
Yeah, I want to be clear on what this means, though, because I don't want these are all great. It's not that I'm disagreeing with you or anything. This is about the consistency, not something that's non-predictable, right? Where it's like I just said, YouTube, or if I do something with you about fast video creator, like that's not something I normally do. It's not that I don't do it and it doesn't move. It's not that it doesn't move the business. What I'm talking about here is the consistency of the marketing that puts you in front of your audience, and what are those things? Because what I'm trying to really get across here to everybody is that you don't have to be doing all of these random things. If you just focus on 2 or 3 things, your 4%, that will move the needle in your business. All those other things you're talking about, Scott, is awesome. And you're totally right about that. Like the team building and having all that stuff, supporting everybody when you can. What I'm looking for is like, what's the consistency?
Well, you ain't going to get it from me at this point.
That's
Joey.
cool.
No, I'm saying because of where I'm at, and because we're building and because this is growing, and there's about 100. We started out, hey, how was your things going? Yesterday, there was not enough hours in a day to deliver all of the tasks that needed to be. I could list 30 things that have been going on. When, like Netta just said, weekly email, that's the 4%.
Right.
When I get to the point, my 4% is going to be copy, emails, launching products, copy, email, launching products, copy, email, launching products. So I can't give you, because I'm not where you're at, because I'm still building. And Monica made a good point, isn't she?
She's just trying to protect you because you're getting all beat up.
Thank you, Monica. I appreciate it. And she's right. My inconsistency is part of my consistency.
I tried, dude, like, come on. I tried to use that on my wife all the time with my whole mess on my thing over here. Look, that's an organized mess. Okay, it's not a mess. It's an organized mess. So, yeah. Nice try, Monica.
Monica's right. I think she should get an award this evening for participant of the episode. In her brilliance and genius. Because again, Joey, I can't sit like I'm on a life purpose call every Monday, and it's what tasks are you going to do this week? Yeah, right. And I can't say, okay, the other dude is like, I commit to this and this and this every single day to get this done. I go to yoga every day. How's that? Every day. There's my 4% for you, Joey. Yoga every day.
That's for you. Yeah. I hear you. It's all good, man. I mean, I'd like to hear maybe from.
Don't get me wrong. I'm totally behind and fully agree that there is a 4% that it kind of like we've talked about Kevin Hogan is what activities do you do every day that will ultimately move the needle, will make you money, and not doing things that don't do that.
I'll give you an example that I shared with everybody today about the 4% to make it really hone in. Let me see if I can share this guy again. And is this, nope, not that one. Let me go back to share screen. This guy right here. Okay. So this is the reason why, you know, Mark is paid one of the highest paid actors. This is Mark's 4%. Every day, this is what he does. And so this is why I said to everyone, what will make you, what will you consistently do every single day so that your business will grow? And when you do it every single day on a consistent basis, then right, it's like there's not a lot that he's doing there, but it's every single day. And that's what helps him become that actor, have the physique, have family time, have everything that he wants in his life. He does this every day. And that's what I'm looking for in terms of the business and the marketing part of it. Because that allows him to be marketed to studios and whatever it is, to his physique, right? That's what they pay him for, the way he looks.
I just told you yoga and you said, no, that's for you. And
I'm just giving it, dude, but yeah, don't just take it as, I'm not comparing it to what I'm saying here. I wanted to just give another example that, yeah.
No, Joey, you're absolutely right. This is what his 4% is that brings him his success every day. It is his routine. It is his 4%.
Right.
I agree with you.
Cool. So does anyone have a question about what we're talking about here, need a little bit of clarity, or share with us what your 4% is? Or maybe we can just answer another question about, you know, building your business aside from what we're talking about here, because then we can do that too. So once I get going here, that's a great question here. Once I get going, the 4% would be to post consistently in the right groups with the consistent messages, sending emails on a consistent level, and posting short freebie videos on YouTube. You can start now, like with one thing. What would it be? And you build up from there. So and here's the other thing. A question came out about, like, how do you know what the 4% is? And there was two questions that I thought was interesting today on the call, which was, one, how do you know what the 4% is? And how do you know they're working? Okay. So I'll answer the first one, which is, I'll answer from my point of view, and maybe give me your advice on your side as well, Scott, which is the way that I choose my 4% is that I can do it consistently, and I don't get bored of it, and I love what I'm doing, and it's not something where I'm I got to put up a YouTube video today, like, you know I got to do it, right? This is something that I go in, and even if I'm not in the greatest of energy, I'll still do it, and it's awesome, right? So that's how I pick my 4%, and I'll leave it there, and then I'll come back to the second question. So I want to hear from your side, like, how would you pick your 4%?
Well, it kind of supports yours. Is what am I passionate about? What do I love to do? What can't I wait to get into this office, into the space, and go, God, I can't wait to do this. I know that I can be really good at this as well, and getting better and better and better. And it's going to produce results, and it's going to produce income for the venture.
Yeah, so that was where the question went, is like, well, how do I know this is working? How do I know dream clients are going to, buy my services or make money and all that? But I want to come back to that because I want to answer Monica's question here to help you, Monica, move forward, where you're right that all this comes together for you. What I suggest is that your 4% right now is to find the right groups. So you're consistently going into groups and posting, and that is going to be the one thing that right now is your 4%, right? Let's just take that one thing. And so you're in those groups every single day, honing which one is the best for you. When you find that becomes your 4%, part of your 4%, and you move on to the next one, which is going to be sending emails on a consistent level, right? So or maybe you could do both, like start sending emails and looking for the groups. Does that make more sense, Monica? It becomes part of your daily routine.
She also posted a follow-up to that, Joey.
Okay, which is the freebie YouTube videos will be fun for me, and I can use them to send to my email list. Exactly, right? So you repurpose everything. You do your YouTube videos, and then you use that for your email list. So yes, and if you can do those every day, is that freebie or whatever it is, a weekly, whatever it is for you? Yeah.
Well, another piece of that, Joey, is she takes her freebie YouTube videos. She then takes and strips out the audio
Right.
and transcribes it, turns it into a blog post and an email. So now she's taken one thing and multiplied her 4%
Yep.
into whatever the number percentage is, doing something she loves, and then being able to say, hey, I just made this cool video, email, check it out. Here's my blog post today. That's what my video is all about. Check it out. And plays it back and forth. And if she loves it and it's bringing her people and she's getting better and better and better at it, kind of becomes known as, the person that does her thing, then, there she goes.
Yeah. And that's it's a really great point you brought up there, because today we were again talking about doing the content or getting in front of people or whatever it is. And one of the questions is, well, how do I do all this? How do I do all this content stuff? Or what do I write about? Or what do I make a video about? And that, right? And if you're in your 4%, there's a part of it there that you can repurpose somehow, right? And this is one of the things that you and I repurpose, at least I do, I know, is, the content that we're making or we need to make or write about or emails and all that is already in the conversations that we're already having. Like, it's already there. You just got to pull it out. And with the technology today, it's so easy, with taking off a transcription or cutting out little videos with Fast Video Creator. Man, it's so awesome, right? Because here's a little snippet. I want to make this. I want to put some text to it. I want to make an animation, blah, 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 boom. And I've got, every single week, we've got an hour or more of video that we can repurpose for, years,
Well,
just like little 2-minute snippets, right?
Well, that's the beauty too, Joey. Again, you do what we're doing. We've got a live, we've got a video. We could take and say, okay, there's 10 questions in here, and split those questions apart. Each of those questions becomes its own little video that could have a little animation with the text, and that could be then thrown up to Temi and transcribed and taken snippets of that and make them into blog posts and make them into emails, and even just taking little snippets of, the 4%, blah, 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 and making them a little mini video out of that.
That's right.
So, people are like, well, I don't have any content. My God, get on and talk to somebody and have them interview you. Rosa Smith Montanero. So our 4%. Well, let me go back up for a second, because Netta said something about you
right
had
here.
That. Yeah. Also, my 4% includes consistently not working long hours every day. What do you have to say about that, Joey?
It is. I get where you're going with this. It's part of it's the rest and relaxation that you do every day in order for you to do the 4%. So I'm in that zone where I get that, and it supports what you're saying about yoga, Scott, which is like, okay, well, if I'm going to go do these things, I need the energy, or I need a break from whatever it is. And I love my yoga. That energizes me to come back and go do these things. So yes, we could expand it all out, and you're all right. I totally get it. So for me, it's the same thing. If I wanted to look at that, I just don't put it in my 4% list where I would say, well, I just go take a 20-minute nap or whatever and unplug. I don't put that in as part of it, but it is part of it, part of the day.
I think what I'd love to hear from Netta is, how many hours do you want to play every day? And what would you do in those hours that you are engaging in whatever you do? And what do you do in those hours?
Right.
Kind of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So I would obviously challenge her, which actually I'm doing, Netta, is challenging you to, okay, how many hours is that? And what would you do in those hours that would produce the results that Joey's talking about?
Now let's talk about this, Rosa, because you're going to be joining us on Friday with Atlas, and it'll make a lot more sense when you go through it, the full thing. But what you're doing in the 4% is that it's not the point of what we're doing is not to, how do I say this? It's not that we're not looking to generate revenue, but it's not a direct thing. This is one of the quotes that I used today from, I think it was John Assaraf or something. It said basically that the most powerful things in the world are the things that you can't see. over the things you can see. And in this case, it's like, well, my Facebook ad went out, but I don't see any money in my bank account. But what we don't see is, who else is looking at the ad who may buy 18 months from now or something like that. That's where the 4% is really about. It's about getting yourself in front of people, doing stuff that you love to do, detaching yourself from the outcome, detaching yourself from, look, if I'm going to go into help somebody in a group for like 2 weeks, there better be some money in my bank account. And that is the wrong attitude. And I'm not saying that's you, that you're saying that, Rosa, but I want everybody to understand that. And that's why it's so powerful, because when you detach yourself from that outcome and you customize your superpowers, when you understand what the superpowers are, it's a magical thing. And then what happens is your dream clients are watching you do all that stuff, Rosa, like helping and just being just a really cool person. They're watching you. They're not the people who you're engaging with. Normally, like 99.9% of the people you're engaging with and helping are not really the dream clients. But the dream clients are watching you do that. And that's why the superpowers combined with the 4%, like what am I going to do every single day using the stuff that I love to talk about and do and who I am and that, and you don't get bored of it, you're not tired of it, and you're like, oh my God, like it's something you love, that it's a consistency. It's just a compounding thing. That's why I call it the 4% multiplier. It just compounds every single day, and the right people watch and see you, and they're the ones who reach out.
So Joey, I know that some of the things you do that I admire greatly, and I don't think I'd ever do it because I don't love it and I'm not as good as you are about it, is you post every day in the group with valuable content. You share what you're reading, what you're learning, what you've heard, and then you go into the bigger groups that you belong to, and you share valuable information. Now, we've talked about this. If I was to do something different right now, my 4% every day, if I was like, okay, I'm done with the software company, I passed it on, I sold it to the employees, I gave it, whatever it was, you know what I would do? I would get on Zoom calls all day. Yeah. And I would just help people, bigger picture, funnels, copy, and saying, here's problem, here's what you're going to do to fix it. And that would be my 4%. Would it give me an immediate result? No. Would people, like with you, say, Joey, I've been watching you, I want to join the club. Joey, I heard about Atlas. I really want to get involved in it. I want to get involved with Right Marketing Copy because that's your 4%. That's what you do that you love, that you're good at. And it does not. There's not like, okay, I posted today and nobody sent me an email wanting to hire me. But over time, I've watched you do this successfully, consistently with 4%. And now you launch a new program and people are like, I'm in. Why? Because it works. And then people say, hey, this Atlas is great. And what you talked about today, it's working. And people are having successes where they wouldn't have because you're passionate about it, because you want to do it. I know that you're not like, crap, I got to write another group today, or I got to share something else I learned today. You're like, wow, people need to know this thing that I just learned from. Fill in the name blank of the person that you learned it from. And again, I told you from the day I met you that was one of your superpowers, was osmosization, the ability to just read and take and osmosize it and get it out where it makes so much sense to people. So
thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. And this is what we're talking about. If you're just joining us or you wanted to look at it, this is the Superpower Matrix that I teach, where it is you figuring out what your unique gifts are. Scott just talked a little bit, thank you very much, on mine, which is, combining and simplifying things and putting it into a framework where I can put it out to people. And I share basically everything that I learn. And what your unique personality is, your unique experiences, your unique process. And when you put all of those together, and this makes you. Nobody in the world has that combination, and that is really, really powerful. And you take those things and you go and you do those wherever it is, where if it's in a group, you're sharing your unique experiences or your process of what you're doing. And when I say this, I want to be very careful that it's not about you promoting. It's not about going, hey, I got right marketing copy, or I got fast video creator, and here's what it does. And you're not doing that. You're sharing the process of what your fast video creator might do, without mentioning, the whole content marketing slip-in thingy. By the way, fast video creator is the best for this. And that's not what we're talking about. It's where you, Scott, would say, here's what I learned about doing 2-minute videos.
Well,
right?
It's interesting you bring that up. And by the way, that was a cute effect with you in the circle at the bottom left of the thing. I'm very impressed with your tech skills.
I'm getting better.
You are. Tomorrow, I am doing a live, and I'm going to be talking about the biggest challenges to creating videos. And it's not a pitch about the software. It's, look, here's why it's so difficult to get videos out. We all know video is the single most effective way to get a message out, because people will watch a video sooner than they'll read something or do that. But here's the problems, and here's the solutions. And okay, so we might talk about the software, but it's more about, like, again, you go talk about, hey, your emails aren't getting open, check out this thing.
Yeah.
You're not getting people to contact you, check out this thing. You're not getting people.
Yeah, like I didn't mention, well, here's email archery, where I teach you all of this stuff, right? Like the program is not mentioned. It's not, keep going. Like,
you're sharing your wisdom and knowledge so other people can benefit from it.
Right.
And that's kind of the butterfly effect. You said, John Asser said, the invisible thing. It's like the butterfly effect. If a butterfly flaps its wings on the other side of the continent, well, potentially that could create a tsunami on the other side.
Very good point.
People knew that by jumping on and doing something every day would have that cumulative effect of whatever it was. It's like posting content. It's like, search SEO. It's like putting a video up on YouTube and properly tagging it and a proper description with proper this. When you put content up and you use the right keywords, because that's what Google wants and that's what people are searching for. The second you put up a video, can I rank it number 1 on YouTube? Sure. Will it stay there? Maybe, maybe not, depending on what else I do. Now, if I put up a video a day for the next 90 days and I do things right and we optimize them, we look at competition and see what people are searching for, all of a sudden things are going to happen. People are going to start going, wow, I can't wait for the next video. I can't wait for Joey's next post, the next article. And then they're going to start clicking. That's the 4%, because we know. But it was like, okay, today I'm going to go post on Facebook, and tomorrow I'm going to do TikTok, and then I'm going to post some stuff on Pinterest, and then I'm going to do Instagram, and then I'm going to do this. And there's no way of being consistent.
Yeah. Well, this is a great example of what we do, right? Because, we've got some awesome advocates who are here every single week. Thank you so much. We love you. Thank you for being here. And even on the replays, thank you for watching the replays. And they're here, and they know that every Tuesday night, and some of them have even called it coffee with the boys or dinner with the boys or something, right? And it's pretty cool because they know we're going to show up every single Tuesday and not sit here and promote and do all this kind of stuff, even though we name drop when we drop our, our programs in now and then. Yeah, sure, because this is our show. But it's not like, well, hey, here's a link, go buy all this kind of stuff, whatever. It's just giving examples, but being in that educational framework and helping people, right? So I want to see Kay. Kay is here. Love you, Kay. Thank you for being in Atlas today. You gave so much value, as everybody does in that group. And she is looking or saying the idea of leveraging content. Yes, taking my Clubhouse meditation audio content and putting a relaxing video to it and posting it in my group. That is awesome. Use that as well as in an email. Like take that audio and make it into an email too. And Scott, dude, tell them about the video you did from the email. That was like brilliant.
Okay, so I needed to. We've got a sequence when people sign up for the software, and it's 30 days of training, teaching them how to step by step. It's like you buy the circular saw and you get the instructions, and you're like, okay. Well, it's like, okay, today we're going to cut 2 2x4s into 3 equal sections, so you know how to do that. Tomorrow we're going to show you how to make a piece of plywood into 3 different sections, et cetera, et cetera. So in that sequence, when I originally laid it out, I had committed to how to write a 1-minute video script. And the sequence started, and I was not ahead of it enough. I needed to write something. And it was like, what am I going to write? And I was like, well, what if I taught them how to write a hypnotic script? Because it was the day after you and I had just done the show on Joe Vitale's hypnotic writing script formula. And you sent the email out, and I read it, and I'm like, holy crap, this is perfect. I took it, I put it into video, I read it, I made a script, I embellished a little bit on it, but it was basically, here's how you write a fast script that has, here's the formula. It's the promise, it's the proof, it's the price. And that's what the video did. Promise, proof, price. Okay, here's the promise. You know, here's the promise. Yeah, here's the promise. This thing, here's the proof.
Promise, proof, and the price.
And that was it. And I made a video of it. And literally, it took me from start to finish, that rendering, that posting, maybe a half hour.
It's just, it was so cool because I remember, the whole idea of when you are repurposing content, that you do the medium that is the easiest for you. And it's usually, if you can do video and you can take everything from video, that's like the ultimate, right? Start with a video and then grab anything you want. The text, whatever, right? And I remember, I think it was with Brendan Burchard, like way back, and he was talking about all this kind of stuff. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, video. But in that time, I mean, I was really afraid to go on video. And like, you know what? I'm like, this is just doesn't gel with me. Audio was easier for me, just putting on a microphone and talking. But then writing, as you know, is one of my easy things. I love to write. Yeah. And I remember doing that. When I saw that video of yours, like, damn, why am I not doing more of this kind of stuff? Because I did it like years and years back, that I would write. When I did my what did I do? The podcast, okay, which is like, it's in La La Land now. But I mean, I would do the podcast. I would write the podcast, or write like kind of like an email, read the podcast, and it still read really, really, really well. And then I turned it into a video. So I went the opposite way. And then when I saw yours, I went, damn, I got to do more of this. So if anybody's listening to this and you don't start with video, you can do it the other way, whichever way is easier for you. But that video that Scott did was brilliant. And it's so great because, like you, Kay, you've got the audio now. And if you turned it around and did a educational video that Scott did with just words, you could throw that up on YouTube. And that's part of something where it's, again, part of your 4%, and you've already done it. You've already talked about it on, maybe she can even do with the audio that she's already got on Clubhouse, right? Yeah. So you don't even have to re-record it.
So Joey, just the video was 2 minutes and 42 seconds in its entirety.
Can Joey send that video to us through his email list? You can upload it into the Facebook group, Scott. How's that?
Okay.
Would that be okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. And by the way, speaking of the Facebook group, that allows me to give a plug. If you want to join this Facebook group, here's where you do it if you're not part of the Facebook group.
Joey, do you have the email you sent?
I do.
Why don't you post the email?
Okay.
And then I'll put the video right with it, or vice versa.
Okay. Wait till I post. I'll do that, and I'll explain what we're doing, and then you can post the video. Cool?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Because I've got it right here. I was going to do it anyway. So
yeah, it's really cool the way he did it, and it's flattering for me. It's flattering to see the words on screen, and it flowed really well. So he added some really cool stuff.
Well, and I asked you for permission, obviously, to share what you had taught. I mean, we taught it together.
Yep.
Of course, I said, hey, I did a show with Joey last night. I gave the wrong name of the show because it changes all the time. And we basically talked about this formula from Joe Vitale of Hypnotic Marketing. And here it is.
Yeah. And to this point, so we're talking a little bit about, where do you come up with the idea for content and everything. So this brings up a really good point, because when, like Tuesday nights are when I'm sending emails. Right. So if I'm on my game, usually I've kind of written it when I should be writing it, which is in the mornings, but sometimes I forget, like tonight. So, and it was like, okay, our show ended, and it was like, what am I going to talk about, man? Like, holy crap. And then there you go. So we've talked about something. We got a really good response from all the comments we had and everything else. And it was like, why don't I just kind of, take this and repurpose it? And this is what I'm saying for everybody listening to this, that it doesn't have to be where you got to make up stuff all the time. And your audience is not really sitting by their phone, and we like to think so, but they're not sitting by their phone going, when is Scott going to send me an email? When is Scott going to send me an email? Right? They're not. And even if they were, and they're not on the Facebooks going, what are they going to talk about there? Oh, wait, they already talked about that. Why am I getting an email? The same thing. They don't put it together. And even if they did, it's like, they're not going to get mad because it's awesome content already. So don't feel as though you're repeating yourself or anything like that. It's powerful. If it's really great stuff, your audience wants to hear about it.
So I'm looking here. There's a couple. Kay said, I don't know if you got this. I do a Facebook Live movement class that is video every Saturday. Okay, you got it. But I have such a slow upload time that is often challenging to get up onto my YouTube.
That is video every Saturday, but I have a selection, so it's often challenging to get up on my YouTube. Okay, so where's the challenge is that you can't upload it quick enough. I don't know if we can help you there, but yeah, what you can do. Do you want to get it? Are you trying to do it live? Is that what you're saying? Okay, is that? I think that's maybe that what you're leaning towards, is leveraging the video content in YouTube. Just because the upload speed, just let it go. Like, let it be in the background. Don't worry. If it's live and it's having trouble streaming, I get that.
Right.
But yeah, if it's just like leveraging it to use it in YouTube, then just let it go in the background. Let it go. Sometimes it'll take a little while for me to download or upload something too. Let's see here. Actually, I like getting repeat content from you. It deepens the knowledge. Thank you very much. That's awesome.
That's another piece, Joey, is like, I think I told you one of the first books that I read more times than the Bible was Cash Copy by Jeffrey Land. And I read that book 5 times because when I first read it and I got the first level of knowledge, I didn't get the things that were past that. And that's the same thing with books and new learning is, wow, okay, so I got to do that. And they talk about doing that and that and that and that and that and that. But you haven't even figured out how to do that well.
Yeah.
And so once you do that well, it's like, okay, now I need to go back and figure out what's the next piece. And I know that's why I have this.
Oh, man, thank you. That is so cool.
Well, it's just like that email you sent, which was about that formula. And when I read it, the first thing was, I can use that. And I look at your emails and say, I can use that.
Cash Copy is the name of the book.
Cash Copy by Jeffrey Land. It was probably one of the single most influential books I have ever read.
Yeah.
About writing copy.
Yeah, it's gold.
It is even more so than Magnetic Marketing from Dan Kennedy or No BS Marketing. That to me is a must read for everybody who's writing, because it breaks everything down. And the guy is a genius. He's brilliant. He's like
Yeah.
Joe.
And he's not even well known in the copywriting realm. Like it's weird, but yeah, it's a fantastic book.
He kind of disappeared. He lives, I think, in Boston, and he's a little bit of a recluse. Which,
Isn't he like a psychologist or something like that? He's a doctor of psychology or something like that?
I think he's kind of like a Gary Bensavinga-esque type of guy. It's like, look, I'm not out there on the Facebook or this or that or here. I'm just doing my thing. And
yeah. Let's I want to roll back up to what Netta, because you were talking about the hours. So she puts 7 hours a day, looks into her 4%, I guess, and she stops at 4:30 to be with her family for the rest of the evening. That's awesome. So, you can even do the 4% is to buy back your time. So entrepreneurs, we always put in so many hours, right? And we quit our job to work even more hours as an entrepreneur, right? But what I'm trying to teach them in Atlas is that when you get everything dialed in and you do these things and you have your program and all this, that you can actually do things in less time and buy back all your freedom. Like it's so awesome, because you're only doing one or two things, including the program that you're delivering, including and there's no of these, these over stressed out long things and oh my god, the cart's it's closing, and it's none of that stuff. It's just an ongoing thing that you do, and that's why the 4% is so powerful. But I get it. So we all have been there, and you and I've like 24/7, right? So I'm not pointing any fingers, because I'm just as guilty as everybody with the hours, but I want to get my time back.
So Joey, Kay has got a follow-up comment. I do live Facebook class.
Oh, that's the one.
Oh, okay, no, you're.
Yeah.
I think the one, I live in a rural area with molesterol internet, so being able to leverage video content on Facebook is difficult. I do live Facebook class, but I want to leverage the Facebook video from the live. It takes 24 hours to upload, meanwhile slow down everything else. How long are your Facebook classes?
Wow, 24 hours to upload. Wow. I'm going to follow up with another question too. Okay, maybe you can answer this. Is there a place that you can go to and upload, like a cafe or something that has better internet? And you do that. That would be part of your 4%. Like Fridays, you go there, boom, you do all those uploads, or a couple of uploads. 30 minutes. She just answered. She's answering your question, Scott.
I think she's answering my question. Is 30 minutes is what her classes are. I asked how long our Facebook, live classes are. 30 minutes.
Right.
She's uploading a 30-minute video to YouTube with a slow internet. It's going to take a while.
That's really slow. 24 hours to upload 30 minutes. Yeah. If there's a place where you can go to, okay, that would be beneficial to you, even if it's an hour drive out of your way, and it's just part of your weekly routine, and it'll build that channel, which gives you more access if you're going to do it on a consistent basis. Again, I'm not telling you to go do that. But if it's something where you could, this drive is going to be awesome because I can listen to some audiobook or something, or just get away, and you like that, or whatever that looks like for you, it's part of your routine, then it will help. That's awesome.
Well, Joey, interesting, because I think you remember there was a while last year that I was hanging out at my friend's Airbnb for a few months because we built a yoga studio in the garage, and the upload speed, I could not upload.
Right.
So I would go take a ride with my thumb drive into my laptop, and I'd go plug it in and I'd upload my stuff. It's, and maybe, again, 24 hours for 30 minutes. I was going to say break it up into a couple of parts, but even still, that's just painfully, as she's already said, painfully, deathfully slow.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. So we're talking today about the 4% multiplier and what it is that you do on a consistent basis on a marketing level, the stuff that you love to do. What are those things that will help your business move forward? And we call it the 4% multiplier because basically 96% of what you're doing is really not moving your business forward at all. And so if you only focus on the one or two things that are working for you, then that's all you have to do. And here's one of the things, going back to the question today, which was, how do I know if the stuff is working? And the answer that I have, I mean, the data is important, but we have to believe that we have no data because at the beginning of it, when we're doing these things, we don't have an immediate return. We don't have somebody saying, hey, I saw your Facebook Live last night. Can I buy something from you? Right? You don't have that really. And if you do, it's probably not going to be consistent. So what I do is I told them, look, I just analyze every 90 days. So I'm doing this for 90 days, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at all of our Facebook Lives. Let's use this as an example. And has anybody watched them? Is the watch going up, or am I getting more likes, or am I getting more comments? Right. So because I don't have the answer at the beginning of like, well, what's the benchmark? Is it how many likes or how many views, how many hours? Like, I don't know what that is. So it's just really about, and you talked about this before, about this show and even about the Facebook group, because they asked about that too. How do I know? How long should I go into a dead Facebook group and keep going? And I mentioned to you this today. I said, Scott and I were the only ones talking to each other in that group for like 40 years. And then finally, right?
It's because we loved what we do, because we love talking about marketing, because it's an inexhaustible topic for you and I, and because we genuinely love each other and enjoy hanging out. It didn't make a difference for 40 years that nobody showed up. And then all of a sudden, one day, one person, two person, this, it ranges all the time. And we know people watch the replay and people comment and ask questions. And when do you give up? You've heard the parable of the gold prospector who was working his claim and digging it and digging it and digging it and digging it for years. And one day he is like, I give up. There's no gold here. And he went and he sold his tools and he sold the claim. The next guy came along, and 1 foot from where he stopped was the largest gold vein in history.
Yeah.
Because he gave up. When do you give up? I don't think you do, unless it's something that's like, okay, I believe that underwater cat hair basket weaving is the next big thing. And I know there's only one other person in the world right now that is interested, but I know I could convince the world. No.
And that's kind of where the combination for me is of data and belief and passion and all that, right? So for us, we can use this as an example that for 90 days I'm doing this regardless, okay? And I don't really care. So when do we give up? So at 90 days we look back and I say, well, we started with nobody's watching us. And now 90 days later, there was one person watching us and we got 5 likes. That to me, and it's only my choice, like, or our choice. Like, what is that good enough for me? Or is this like, this sucks? And to me, it's an improvement. It's moving, right? It's just that what's that benefit or what's that benchmark for you? But that's when I'm looking at the data. And then you and I both know as business owners for the longest time, we know that it's that slow growth, right? And then all of a sudden that hockey stick moment happens.
Yep.
Right? You see the slow stuff and they're like, oh, but it's only $1. It's only $100.
Yeah. Well, again, it's with when I first started playing with taking on clients. And after I played the Zoom thing. And one day somebody was like, well, what would you charge to do X? And I was like, I'll just throw out, and I don't play with numbers, you know that. Okay, $50. Well, I don't know. I've never paid $50 for that. I usually pay like $2.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. And then they come back and go, okay, I'll give you $50. And then after that, it's like, holy crap, that was worth like $200. And then the next one comes along and it's like, well, I charged $50 last time. I could charge you $250. And then the next one is I'm going to charge you $500. Then I'm going to charge you $1,000. You've got to start. Like you said, you made it. I love when people post, I just made my first sale. It may not be a big deal. It is a huge
It is. It's huge.
deal. How many people never get anywhere close to, I'm engaging with a fellow and I'm helping him now and get his this going and that going and advising him and that for mutual benefit. And I was like, you're doing what most people will never do.
Yeah.
You're doing the hard, grueling stuff that it takes so that when you finally it hits, it's like this whole monster thingy I'm building to one day sit back and go, okay, hey, I just ran Facebook ads and got this and we made this much money. Well, let me tell you what I had to do for 16 months, 6 days a week, 12 hours a day to have that overnight success.
Yeah, it's 25 years to be an overnight success.
Yeah, I had a dear colleague, Ray Pelletier, who was a professional speaker, and he said, an overnight success takes time. If we looked at every one of these gurus and go back to the beginning, yeah, they all had a story. They all struggled. They had nothing. This happened, this happened, this happened, the Blackie story, the connection story. And then after a period of time, but now it's like you have to go through it. The learning curve, you can cut the learning curve so it's not as steep,
right?
But you still got to go through it somewhat. Even with our software, it's not like, okay, let me just sit and go, the video's done.
Oh my God.
Yay.
Oh my God, that's so funny, man. Kay says, with the Facebook classes she does consistently, I notice people expressing joy around it. That is awesome. And in one class, the director of the conference came by, and this year she invited me to open the conference. Oh, congratulations, Kay, for doing that. They gave me a free exhibition booth. That's awesome. So you can get a sense of how people are responding. That's what we're talking about. It's like, there are other things, we can get in the whole other side of this, Scott, where you and I believe in the universe and all, what you put out in the world comes back to you, whether that's in direct relation to what you put out into the world. But most of the time it's not. It's like that butterfly effect. You don't know where it comes from, but you and I have both experienced this, and we're very in tune with, wow, this is amazing that this thing's happening to me now, and it's great, or happening for me. And so I think that part of what you're saying, and even with the 4% multiplier, is that piece of it is, when you start a business, any business, me, like that's the main thing that I focus on, is what is the absolute bottom foundation of business. And for me, it's belief. That's what it is. It's all about faith and belief. If you do not have that, there's nothing that's ever going to help you build the business. I don't care what fancy tech you have or methodology or strategies, because when you hit that point of the gold digger that says there's just no gold here, man, like I am done. When you hit that and that resistance keeps on coming, that belief is gone. Like you there's nothing you can do about it. In fact, this reminds me, I just saw a post today from Bruce Lee. I don't know why that's slipped my mind, but it was a meme or something, or a post that said basically, what was it? Pain will release you when it's done working with you, or something like that. And I thought that was like brilliant. The pain will go when it's done. Sorry, that was it. The pain will go when it's done teaching you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And I thought that was brilliant. And it's so true. Right. If you're going through pain and struggle and all this, it's not done yet. Like, you're not done learning. And
It's unfortunately part of the process. Joey,
you're welcome, Rosa.
thank you, Rosa. What was the last, okay, Kay Hutchinson, what does she teach?
I'll let her respond, because
Yeah, I'm just curious of what she teaches, because she's got a phenomenal opportunity she's about to engage in. And I mean, she's going to have a booth at a conference. That's a whole interesting animal. But Joey, one of the things that I just want to add to that was when many years ago, when I attended by accident a conference in the catering industry. I was teaching at the university, and I wanted to take my class of off-premise catering students to some of the local hotels. And I met this gal who was at the Pier 66 in Fort Lauderdale. And we kind of became friends, and she moved to another place, and I went and visited her and had lunch with her, and she goes, "Are you going to the NACE conference?" I was like, "What's that?" "Well, it's the National Association of Catering Executives." I was like, "No, when is it?" She goes, "Next week." I was like, "Okay, fine, I'll go." So I went, and I was like, I kind of like this place. And I was like, they got this association, and I like this stuff. And so I did a seminar at the conference that was held in Fort Lauderdale on how to remember people's names. Well, obviously, in teaching people how to remember people's names, I was able to remember everybody's name. So during the conference, I'd see somebody, I'd say, "Hey, Joey, hey, Netta, hey, Lori, hey, Kay." It's like, holy cow. And as a result of just doing that and speaking for nothing, that's how I ended up with some of the biggest Fortune 100 companies as my clients, because I started doing that because I loved it so much. I knew I was good at it because I learned it from the Dale Carnegie organization. I was repurposing something that I had already learned and gave credit for it. I repurposed on day 9 in that sequence is how to write a hypnotic marketing script that my buddy and I, Joey, talked about, came from Joe Vitale. Somebody's going to look at that and say, "That was pretty cool. I like that." And so,
Right.
Going full circle to the 4% of what do we love doing? In an ideal world, I'll just sit and play and make videos from quick, simple stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you were talking about actually, Kay said the mojo, and I pulled up that, belief in faith, the energy does move things forward. We had a conversation the other day last week about manifesting and what gets in people's way of, the orange work, the red work, and the green work. And the orange work being the stuff. And if you truly know that what you got's good stuff, and you truly know it's going to benefit people and it's going to help them, and you know that there is an audience of people out there that will buy your stuff, well, because they're already buying other stuff. McDonald's opened on every corner. That made sense. Burger King opened down the block because they already knew people would eat hamburgers. And Wendy's opened down the street from them. I already know that people love making videos, and there's video software out there. I was going to stick myself in front of the traffic. So if you know you have traffic and you love what you do, I teach Chinese energy medicine, Qigong movement, meditation, martial art. Cool. The conference already happened, was amazing. Nice. That's fantastic. I love that stuff.
Yeah. Let us know how did that work out?
Yeah.
Qigong is awesome. That's really awesome. And Kali says, in order to make the belief manifest, one must feel the belief really to feel into it. If there is no feeling attached to the belief, if it is borrowed, you're so right, Kali. That is it. I knew this. I realized this actually about a decade ago when I started doing masterminds with people who wanted to start a business or quit their job and become full-time entrepreneurs. That basically was the thing. And I could read people really fast and really easily. And the one thing that I saw in them throughout that day of like training, there was, you know, always just a small group of 10, maybe 11 people, was their belief system was not there. And they could tell me whatever they wanted. They could say whatever they wanted, and the lip service was all there. But it was when the crap hit the fan that their true character came out. And that's where the excuses and the reasons and everything else happened. And that's just the way the world is. It's not only with that group, but it's with everything. And that's why that's when I realized that one of my things that moved me forward all the time, because at that point I was dealing with a lot of linear people who needed the steps and the act and the like checklist one after the next. Where am I going? What is the next step? And I want everything there to make sure that where I'm going. And you guys know, and if you don't know, I am not like that. And I'm getting better at it to give you maybe 1 or 2 steps ahead. But it's like, dude, I'm going over there, just like you, Scott. You're going to do the company for, you know, $1 billion. And it's like, how are you going to do that, Scott? Don't know, but it's going to happen. Right. And
just want to add an important piece behind this that, you know, Kali's mentioning, Kay has mentioned, everybody's talking about the whole belief piece. What's really important is when you've nailed what that belief is, what that faith is, and you know it, you need to make sure you have the Joeys in the world in your corner who are going to cheer you on.
Yeah, that's true.
I have a client who, when we started, was selling a $39 product and making about $15,000, $20,000 a month, doing okay. I said, you need to up it. You need to up it. He's like, to what? I said, start, you know, at least 997. He goes, I can't do that.
Yeah.
So he went to 297. And guess what? After that, he went to 997. And then guess what? Now I said, one day you're going to do a $10,000 offer. There was a voice in his head that said, there's no way you could possibly, it's not, come on. Who do you think you are? Well, guess what? He's now gone to a $3,000 offer. And instead of doing 20, 25 a month, he's doing 60, 70 a month. And all of a sudden he's believing it. And you sometimes may have to, we've talked about this, leave some people aside that don't say, you know, if you said to me, Scott, I'm going to build Atlas up and I'm going to have 1,000 people paying me 10, I'm going to be doing 10 million a year. I say, yeah, I know you are. If somebody's going to, oh, come on, Joey, you can't do that. And that's what you need to be real careful of, is that you protect your vision, your dream. And if people don't believe it, then you know what? Get out of here.
Yeah.
Because
and we talked about that too today, about the tribe. Like, what's your tribe look like, right? Where you have that support system. And sometimes there's a small tribe like we have every single week. Then there's sometimes the bigger tribe, and you have to have that support system. It's like when we go to the events, and we talked about this before, where you go to events, in our world and everything else, and we're the minority, right? And you go into these events and you can stand up on a chair and say, I'm going to make $1 million next month. And everybody stands up and gives you a standing ovation. Right. And then you get out of the room and you're all of a sudden in the real world again. And it's like, what are you talking about? $1 million? Like, you can't even make that in your lifetime. What are you talking about next week? Right. But it's in those environments. And now, I don't know about you, but that's the world that I live in today. I think that everyone else is like the minority, like the people who don't think like we do, where we have that support system.
Well, it goes to, I have an advisory board, and there are people that know me better than me, and it doesn't matter how crazy. They're like, yeah, you can do it. You'll figure it out. You'll get it done.
So the belief, in the belief, going back to that, Scott, the belief really is in you. Like, you believe in yourself to the fullest degree, no matter what. And that is the point. It's not about believing in the thing. It kind of is, but it's not about like the system or the path or the thing, like what's in front of you. The goal is over there, and I'm going to go there. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to try this thing and whatever. And let's say you failed 25 times. Like, well, that didn't work. But and they're like, see, it didn't work. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm still going there, right? Right? It's belief in this. That's the whole thing.
Again, I'll go back to what one of our colleagues talked about, which was you got to love yourself. You got to believe in yourself. Because if that doesn't exist, we do have to protect our dream. And I have Willie Jolly is an amazing speaker. And I remember he was on the platform and he was like, you have to set monster goals and dream monster dreams. Forget about what you think of the former president. I don't care. I don't get into politics. He wrote a book, The Art of the Deal. And in it, he basically said, as long as you're going to be thinking, you might as well think big.
That's right.
I mean, what did Tony Robbins charge for an hour of his time? A couple $100,000 or something?
Yeah.
His hour and your hour and my hour are the same hour.
Right.
You and Scott provide that real talk that supports manifestation of our businesses. Appreciate y'all. We appreciate you, Kay, for
here. Appreciate everybody here. Thank you so much. We have come to the top of the hour again.
Always.
Can you believe that? It's crazy how fast this goes. Man, I appreciate you. Love you. You are so awesome. Thank you for being in my corner. Thank you for being here for everybody every single Tuesday. They appreciate you, I'm sure. And for everybody watching, we appreciate you. So if you can give us a little bit of love, let Facebook know that we're doing a good job by maybe a thumbs up or a heart or something. Maybe you can even share this with your audience. That would be really cool. And I'll let Scott take it out tonight.
Joey, one of the most incredible moments in my existence on this planet of yours that you call Earth was meeting and being able to engage and interact with somebody as powerfully loving and caring and generous as you. And I treasure and value that every Tuesday night and other times during the week, I get to interact and engage and play with somebody as loving, caring, heart-centered, and amazing as you.
Thank you, my friend. Love you. We will see you. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, but everybody else, we will see you next week, next Tuesday night. Take care.